You're listening to nothing important.
Yeah, I kind of hound you guys on some of your facts and stuff. I know we had that cactus incident.
I've been thinking about that the whole time.
That's I think about that a lot, and there's been some other small things out there. But yeah, it's a small world. It's funny you saw that and we're able to connect again.
Please enjoy the show. That's great. That works.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nothing Important Podcast. My name is Brian, and with me, as always, is Dave. Hi, Dave. How's it going, my friend?
What is the most important part of telling a joke? Timing.
That's the joke. So stupid. Dave and I also host It's All Good, Man, the Better Call Saul podcast, where Dave and I have an episode discussion and talk about the show Better Call Saul, starting April 10th on AMC. Dave, we kind of have a funny show today. We have Brent calling us. Do you know who Brent is?
Brent is one of our listeners to It's All Good, Man that interacts with us on Twitter on a pretty frequent basis.
Right, absolutely. Brent is he listens to our other podcast, It's All Good, Man, and he's kind of a smartass. And apparently that's gained him some notoriety. We were just kind of going back and forth, and I'm like, wait a minute, how'd you get verified? Because It's All Good, Man is literally listening to tens of thousands of people, and we can't get verified on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I was kind of lost when I saw that tweet. Can you elaborate on what verified means?
Yeah, verified means that you're a person of note or you have a large audience, that you're not just like John Smith with a Twitter. Verified means that you're somebody with at least a little bit of notoriety.
Like you're famous enough to where some dickhead might try and copy your account. Or like pretend that they're you.
Maybe I think that's part of it. Or if people have a common name like John Smith, like the John Smith, who's like the
so you're like,
CEO
well,
of whatever company.
I'm the verified Dave from Nothing Important. Mayor.
Right, yeah, you know what I mean. It's just like people that have, like I said, a little bit of notoriety. It's just verified. And I was like, oh, what the hell? Let's try to get verified. But Brent is verified, so I said, Brent, how'd you get verified? And Brent is Brent Walker, who became internet famous last year for talking shit to a website that rates dogs. And he became one of these memes, like a viral sensation, even to the point to where he, their response to him was, they're all good dogs, Brent. Or like they kept like mispronouncing his name. And it became an internet meme. And he even sells T-shirts and such about it. But we've had authors, singers, actors, all sorts of funny people on the podcast, and I thought it'd be funny to have Brent on. Especially since not only that, he's a web developer, and he was on one of those morning shows where and talking about his website, Rotten Neighbor, which I'm not sure is even a thing anymore because I can't find it. But Rotten Neighbor was a website that kind of gained a bunch of popularity over millions of hits. Where people could rate their neighbors kind of in a similar fashion to Yelp. And he was on
Hilarious.
He was on the Today Show with man, I can't think of the chick name from Shark Tank, and they were talking about his website Rotten Neighbor, and it's just kind of a funny bit of again, to keep using the word, a funny bit of notoriety with Barbara Cordon from Shark Tank, and it's just kind of funny that Brent has gone back and forth with us about our shenanigans, and he has his little slice of fame as well. So I just thought it'd be fun to have him call in.
I think it's going to be a pretty good conversation.
It should be. He even said, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, I don't know.
Let's talk about how people think we're famous, but we're really not, because that's kind of internet famous.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So a couple show keeping notes. Once again, we do It's All Good Men. Also on iTunes or itsallgoodmen.com for AMC's Better Call Saul. I just want to put it out there. Anybody listening to this that wants to check that show out, we kind of have a busy schedule as I was writing it out in our head. So here, season 3 starts. And Dave, have you watched the first episode yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I have. But Dave and I recorded our predictions episode, where we were trying to predict before we watched the first episode of season 3. Where we recorded our predictions, I guess is a good way to put that. So, man, just looking at our schedule, our preview, our prediction episode will be put up March 27th, the week of March 27th, and then the preview article that I wrote, I'll probably post that same day. I'll post the links. It'll be on various websites and such.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and then after that, around the April 2nd, we'll probably do our preview episode where we can't review or talk about the first episode, but we can kind of preview it for people in a vague general manner. So I think we'll throw that out there. Then, of course, April 10th, as the credits roll, we'll have our episode discussion. Shortly after that, we'll record our first preview with a prior and post it later that week. And then, of course, April 17th, we'll post our episode 2 discussion as the credits roll. So this time of year, between Nothing Important and It's All Good Man, it gets a little busy for us. But I'm glad that, I'm able to break away from my office job, for an hour every day to record this, so I don't have to annoy my family at home with it this year.
Good interview with goddamn, Anthony Mellencori.
See, you know what? That was one of my biggest fears with him, because I think I mentioned it before. Even if somebody's name was like John Johnson, whenever we do interviews with people, there's always this thing in the back of my head that keeps telling me that I am going to mispronounce their name. And Anthony Mellencori, I'm still not even sure that's how it's pronounced, even though I watch his show and I've watched several YouTube interviews with him just to